It's BBC Radio 6 Music for Friday morning, and time now to reveal 6 Music's number one album of 2013. And the album is AM by the Arctic Monkeys. And I've got the band's drummer, Matt Helders, on the phone from Los Angeles right now. Matt, congratulations. AM is 6 Music's album of the year.
Thank you very much.
It's a scorching record, Matt, and some say it's your best. Do you think so?
Yeah, I think every time we've finished an album we've said that though, but this time it seems to be more genuine, I reckon.
Fans obviously loved the record straight away, but did you expect the critical acclaim you got for it?
No, not at all. I didn't think we'd get, because this response it got reminded us of like when we put his first album out. We didn't expect that either, obviously at the time. So it was kind of like a similar feeling, especially from like reviews and stuff, because it was a bit different. We were a bit unsure about how people would take it. Either way, it was like an overwhelming response.
Can you remember back to when that first record came out and the similar feelings that you mentioned there, that when this record came out? How did it feel?
I suppose like nothing else, when the first one came out, I suppose, I don't know, we were like 19. I mean, we were on tour when it came out. We were on Enemy tour. So it's always weird like that because you kind of in the eye of the storm or whatever, and you don't really understand what's going on in the outside world. But we couldn't ignore the fact that it sold what it did in the first week and all that. And it was a bit, it was obviously a lot to take. It was, a brand new feeling to deal with.
And now 5 records down, is it a lot easier?
No, I suppose not, because now it's like you're doing it 5 times then, and then that's something else you've got to get your head around.
It's the fans that you make music for first and foremost, but do you still read the reviews?
Not really. Like, don't go looking for them. I think like people will send them as sometimes if it's like well written or it's funny or interesting, or even a bad one if it's funny. I read a review of a gig the other day that said they got a new drummer. Said the new drummer sailed into the songs pretty well. So that was good.
Have you met him?
And that was from a gig like 3 days ago.
What's he like then, that guy?
I don't know what it is. I don't know if I put too much weight on and he didn't recognise me.
Is that the high life living in the States?
That's it. That's what it's done. Burgers and milkshakes.
What's your best work with the Arctic Monkeys?
There's a couple of songs that the only reason I think about it now is because like they're going to get harder and harder to play as the older I get. Like the fast ones, like Brainstorm and Pretty Visitors. They're like ones where I've I've like dug my own grave on them ones, but I'm coming up with like something that I'm definitely not going to be able to play in 10 years. Chances are I'll get arthritis and won't be able to play them songs. But as a recording, I'm proud of those two. I mean, there's a lot. That's just because they're fast and impressive, but for me, that's not the most impressive thing about being a drummer. I think playing for the song and doing something like tasteful and not showing off is more important than doing as many fills as you can. It just took me a long time to realise that.
Do your beginnings in Sheffield feel like a long time ago now, Matt?
I suppose when we go back there, it's kind of like it's the same friends we've got as we had then, so it's easy to kind of remember what it was like. I mean, it is a long time ago. It's like since we started the band, it's like 10 years, but I suppose it's gone really quickly.
Do those friends realise, Matt, that you are in an amazing band, one of the best bands in the world?
If they do, they don't tell us. But they're quite like proud and protective over us. It's probably our fault that they just hate every other band, just by default.
So this new record then, AM, it features some amazing guest appearances from Josh Homme, from Elvis Costello's drummer Pete Thomas, Bill Ryder-Jones from The Coral as well. How did you pick your guests on this one?
Pete Thomas, he stepped in when I broke my hand. He came into we knew him through, his daughter was in a band that played with us a few times on a few tours. Obviously we were all fans of what he'd done before, and we knew when we were recording in LA, we knew he lived there now, so it was like we thought he'd be a good person to just sit in for me while they were writing and stuff, and so they didn't have to kind of lose the momentum that we got going with like ideas that we'd already had. He did some of the early demos, but then the bits of him that remain on it is just like percussion on mad sounds, and then by the time I'd recovered, we did the drums again and rewrote some of it.
Mm-hmm. What about Josh?
We just kind of asked him to come down and do backing vocals on things, and it's like an excuse for him to come down and have a listen and tell us what he thinks as well. You know, we'll respect his opinion quite a lot through being fans of what he's done, and then from working with him on Humbug. Like, his relationship with him now it's gone beyond professional now. I suppose it's like a friendship, so it's hopefully something that, you know, we'll do more and more if it makes sense.
Fantastic. Right, it's a hell of a lineup. It's an amazing record, as I've said. Do you have a personal favourite that I can play now from the record, Matt?
I suppose, speaking about Josh, I'd go with Knee Socks. It's like a fun one to play, and we've done it a couple of times where Josh has got up and sung his part on it, and like that little bit that he did kind of became the best, like 30 seconds on that record in a way.
That one personally picked by Matt Helders this morning from Six Music's #1 album of the year, The Brilliant AM. That was Knee Socks. And Matt's on the phone from Los Angeles right now. Do the American audiences love the same songs as audiences back home here?
No, it's different actually. In America is where we kind of usually, or so far, have like tested out new stuff quite a lot, and a lot of the crowds here, it's like the first place we played Are You Mine, and like B-sides like Evil Twin. And that American crowd seems to go for them a little bit more. Usually, like, the English fans have got such a like connection with that first record. I mean, it's expecting a lot for them to kind of forget about that and new songs become their favourites. But I think now, there's like even younger fans there now that probably, you know, were about 10 years old when this first album came out. So it's hard to tell really now.
It's a scary thought. 10 years on then, Matt.
Yeah.
And you've announced that you'll play at the Brit Awards in February, so I take it you consider the Brits still quite important for you.
I think they've asked us before, and we've always been quite funny about award shows. Yeah. You may not be aware of, but this time, yeah, we thought we're probably ready to do it now.
Are there any other big dates that you're looking forward to in the new year?
Well, Madison Square Garden's like, you know, a big deal for us. Doing that in New York in February. I mean, it's pretty much like the most famous venue in the world, I suppose. I didn't think we'd ever, you know, sell that one out.
Would you love to go back to Glastonbury at some point?
Yeah, I think we should probably leave it a while, though. Like a reunion. We'll do the Sunday when we're 60 years old.
Fair enough. Good thinking. Matt, what are you doing for New Year's Eve?
Maybe going out to Joshua Tree. I haven't made any plans yet, but it's what I did last year, and it was a great time. Oh, yeah, there's a few places out here in, like around LA that you can go that's, you know, a good time on New Year's Eve. But I try not to plan it too much because it never seems to work out that well when you do that. It's
going to be a bit warmer and a bit more glamorous than a night in Sheffield, I take it.
Potentially, yeah, but there's definitely, you know, another side to the glamour out here as well.
Thank you very much, Matthew, for being there. Have a very happy New Year. And congratulations on AM being Six Music's best album of 2013.
Thank you very much. You too. Merry Christmas.